try to tell you, but I have to go now, achieve my wish. Waiting for the day to live in another holiest name. I found my way. Some days I make it through. There's a night that never ends. So I try harder to reaching but the stars, but I didn't know what it was. But I feel I'm growing stronger with a turning by the circle, like a fat bee on my own land. So my life is on my own. Reload their guns, decide my way. When I was a little child, I asked, who is the greatest man in this world? Feeling from deep inside my heart that my life began. I promised to save everyone. I wish that I could stay forever, evermore. Going forward, without getting worried, keep moving until the last day. So I feel I'm growing stronger with a turning by the circle, like a fat bee on my own land. So my life is on my own. Reload the guns, decide my way. Decide my way.
Yep. Video games. Man, A Mystery of Savior. I'm like almost crying sitting here just listening to the songs. This was the best era too. They released a bunch of really cool classes and like really good songs with them as well. And the game was in the best state it had ever been. And then they destroyed it like instantly after. Oh, dude. Steal, bitch! Steal! I'm killing them too fast now. What's the story arc in this? I don't know, dude. I don't think there's a real story. The world of Ragnarok Online is so slapped together. It like literally is so poorly thought out. Like they just slapped it together. Like, I'm sure because they released it in episodes, right? And I'm sure there's some story going on there, but I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. I don't think anyone in the entire world has ever paid attention to what is happening in the story of Ragnarok Online. It's not a quest-based game either, right? So like, how do you pay attention to it? Like, it has to be like a YouTube video or something. And YouTube didn't exist at that time. It's literally older than YouTube. I don't know, dude. No. There are cats. And you're killing them. You have to kill the cats in the gypsy village. Remember the early days of YouTube? Yeah. Barely used it back then, to be honest. It was like listening to Leak Spin while playing World of Warcraft or something. We are killing cats. I bought a dagger that's better to kill cats with. Now we're killing the shit out of them. Come here, kitty. That's a lot of cats. I just need to make some money. I wasted all of my money, literally all of it. we make money by killing cats. I haven't found another good way to actually make money yet. I need to figure out something I can go and like AoE farm. Okay. The monitor's flipping out. That's cool. Go back to Ragnarok music. Need maximum immersion while killing kitty cats. Thankfully, nobody else is awake right now, so I can just kill everything on my own. No one else is here, bothering me. I feel like I should try to get one of those combos that like drop meat or whatever. I don't know if they only work on swordsmen or if the others work on other classes too. Because all the cards that give you like life on hit or whatever, they're so clunky, they kind of suck. I could just equip the Wraith card and it would give me a bunch of items. Like that could be good enough. But that's only for undead. I need that, but for like normal monsters. Well, the giggling box is only for undead. That's kind of cringe. New rogue? No, the same rogue. Just farming some money. I'm broke. And I don't want Hunterfly cards anymore. They seem kind of dog shit. Or back to farming Wild Rose. Oh, item drop? For which character? You mean the Hunterflies? I wanted it like in general. Yeah, you do need to go to Twitch. YouTube is trash. Good morning, Mangled Wings. How's it going? It's insane how incompetent, like, not, what's the word I want to say? It's crazy how uncompetitive YouTube is when it comes to, like, as a streaming site. The only reason they, like, manage to stay competitive with Twitch is because some people don't like Twitch, even though YouTube is just as bad in every single way that they don't like Twitch for, or worse. How am I doing today? I'm alright, I think. But yeah, no, I was interested in Hunterfly cards to get, you know, sustain, so I could just ignore this shit without having to get heal, and like also having like a Hunterfly card for like a knight and stuff like that as well. But it seems total dog shit, because you do so little damage that it's kind of whatever. And it's like 0.9% life leech. It's terrible. Did I get any sleep? I did. I don't generally have trouble sleeping. I woke up early, but I also went to bed kind of early. Best knight for a card is Earth Deleter. That. No, that's SP. I want HP. I want HP sustain. And I don't know if you need a combo to get the when they drop things, like the meat drop card. I don't remember what that is. You have it naturally as a swordsman. No, not enough. And also, I'm not just talking about swordsman. I'm also talking about rogues and assassin and like, literally any melee character. It would be nice to have some life leech or something like that, but getting it comes at too much of a cost, and the card is shit. It's basically this that people tell me about. Corruptor. Minus 50% max SP. Physical attacks have a chance to cast Corrupting Drain. Cast chance is 4% for melee attacks, 2 for ranged attacks. Corrupting Drain deals damage based on your strength, int, dex, and luck stats, and is not affected by elemental size or racial modifiers. You will be healed by 75% of the damage done by this ability, and it goes in shoes. So you can get a life leech there. But otherwise, I feel like the game is just designed around consumable spam. More or less. Sleep is probably the most important for good health, both physical and psychological. Yeah, absolutely. How much do these cards cost? Yeah, I mean, pretty much every card is over $1 million. So yes, it's cheaper to buy consumables. But my issue is that some places, the monsters, even if I evade like 95% of the time, they still hit for like 900 when they hit. And those areas, if you go there, you have to use like 30 kebabs every time you get hit. And white potions are super expensive. So like, that's when I feel like, alright, I guess I gotta make an alchemist or something. Because white potions go for like 3,000 or some shit. I think. Like, they're way too fucking expensive. Maybe I'm not, maybe I'm wrong. Let's go check what they cost, actually. After we kill this cat. I think you are trying to solve a symptom of a different problem instead of the problem itself. What would that be? White potions are 1,970. That's very expensive. Are there any games you're looking forward to in 2025? Only Monster Hunter Wilds. And that comes out next week. I do have 1,231 white herbs that I could make potions out of. Chilling Casual RO, love it. Welcome to the stream. I don't know how to say your name. STNB. Stan, I'm gonna call you Stan, dude. First, you're using third-rate healing items. Second, you're farming something you don't have flee. No, I said like something that you have 95% flee against. Because even if you do flee 100% or 95%, if they hit you for like 95, or if they hit you for like 900, that still uses up shitloads of items. But yeah, the thing is, using more expensive healing items is trash. Because they're so expensive. At that point, I feel like I basically have to make an alchemist myself. Because, like, nobody's selling any worse items. Like, they only sell white potions, blue potions. White potions are 970. It's not worth it. That's not something you can use while you're going around killing mobs. Yeah, it's more of an issue. Like, I do want to have sustain either way, but I don't really know what to get except just getting heal on my rogue. which I do need to do. Oh, my awake. Yep. More damage is better. But now I don't really know what I need weapon-wise, because if I'm not gonna bother making a hunterfly weapon, then I don't need to farm hunterflies, and then I can just stay here farming wild cats for a while, and then I don't really need to buy a new dagger yet. I don't really know what to farm on my rogue otherwise yet, so maybe I can buy something else. Maybe I can just save money. Maybe I don't buy anything. Slowly spiraling depression. Okay. Oh yeah. No! My cat! I was planning on getting a fire one, but that was for the pill bugs and the arclouse down in the hunter fly area. I don't want the hunter fly anymore, so I just need to find a card or something to farm. That also gives decent money at the same time. But right now, I'm not sure what. On that map? No, everything here is weak to earth. The only thing that might be weak to fire is the bear. And they suck. No, the cat is weak to Earth. That's what I'm using. I have an Earth Damascus. They're air. Or wind. That's why I'm doing as much damage as I am doing. Before I was having trouble killing them because I was not hitting them as well. I am still missing though. Oh, I level up at some point. Yeah, we need more dexterity. But a nice Damascus would be good, because then I can go and like farm Pasanas or something. Pasanas and Minorus. A wind one for Bjaalan, I suppose. I don't know if there's anything in Bjaalan I want though. I have a wind one actually. I have a wind and an earth Damascus. But pretty sure cats are better money than Saroma. For money. Wow. There's a cat still? Or is it just a latent sound effect? Oh yeah, tea. Had to play more of each element years ago, kinda missed my old items. Yeah. Should have farmed them on Pion Stories. And you would have had them. Build. I have 100k. That's almost a claymore. Being an Aggie Knight made me jealous. I dig Knights so much. Yeah, I also want to make an Agility Knight. Or I'm not sure. Not sure what I want. I really like vitality. I don't really like playing characters with 1 vitality. It feels like dog shit. But also like relying on armor is also like impossible. Like on my assassin, I wanted to play like hybrid. I wanted to go like 70 agility and then have vitality a little bit. Right now I don't really have the vitality, but I feel like if you're gonna go vitality, you have to have at least 50, 70 something, otherwise it's just kind of ass. I don't know. Bing! Honestly, they should just remove the beam from Nut Hat. I don't know if you can customize your own beams, delete them from certain items. But I'd like trying to make a Bash Knight with like 40 agility or something maybe. But I don't know. Like 40 agility, 70 vitality. Something maybe. .30 agility, maybe? I'm not sure. You get so much more for the agility at higher levels, or at higher... or at really anything. I kind of don't like that. It kind of forces you into one stat. Yeah, honestly, RO is an all or nothing. Honestly, RO is an all or nothing kind of game. Hybrid builds tend to be shit. Yes, 100%. I think hybrids are better when you're soloing. Kind of, to some degree. Really depends on what you're doing. Like intelligence kind of makes soloing feel a lot better if you like pressing buttons a little bit. But when you're doing like any real content or group content, just solving any of those issues with potions or whatever, it's usually just superior. I would honestly rather see the opposite, where instead of ramping up, it ramps down, so you have diminishing returns on stats, rather than them becoming like ridiculously OP because you're super stacking. Knowing the devs of Pion stories, hybrid LKs will suck in here. Oh, do they make classes suck a lot? No, they buff weak stuff, which is good, but they nerf the OP things, which can feel sour. I wish they would nerf more things. I love nerfs. I want only nerfs. Big nerf enjoyer. Other people should not be allowed to have fun. That is my philosophy in life. What makes LK hybrid be good is that they can achieve max attack speed with almost no agility. Yeah, I hope they nerf that. That's kind of stupid. It's like monks being able to get 90 defense just for free. Like, why? Just because. Oh, that's where they are. I hope they nerf bards. Nerf Bragi. Assumptio makes the target take 50% less damage. This skill is kind of dumb, because it, from what I understand, it's like just better than Kyrie, and you can't use both of them. So it's like, okay, Kyrie just disappears as a skill. You can't pick it anymore. Like, that's just bad. Yes, you go down there, I go up here. Like, I like the way a lot, like, I prefer the rebirth classes, because they have a little bit more to them. But I also feel like the design is like way worse. They just get like things that are just too powerful. Like Crusader chants are stupid. Like, they're total trash. Like, why would you add something like that? Like, it's just way too strong. Like, almost everything that's super strong on rebirth classes need to be like literally 20% of its power at best. Like, chance shouldn't give you 100% increased life. Like, what the fuck is that? That's so retarded. I love Assumptio because it allows people with no gear to farm places that require gear, but also hated that it was required to farm higher level content. No way you're farming Biolabs or Thor's Volcano without Assumptio. Well, at some point, you have to end up making areas, big group areas. I think that's one of the weaknesses of RO, that the later areas are like very designed for group play, but the game kind of feels like it pushes you towards soloing a lot in some ways. Maybe it's just because I play on private servers mainly, and there's so few people, but... Group play is kind of wonky. But I'm trying to do more of it. Unfortunately, I won't be allowed to do that on my wizard, because everyone's gonna be like, well, you have Stormgust? Why you don't have Stormgust? And I'm like, because I wanted to play another skill. And they're like, that's retarded. We're gonna go farm High Orc. And the unfortunate reality is that right now in the game, there's like almost no good places to go and farm with fire skills. You can go to Umbala. On the first Umbala map, you have Dryads and Wutan shooters, and you have wood golems, etc. But every single monster there, like every single card is trash. So it's like you're only going there to farm like trash loot, I guess. I think the XP would probably be decent. Problem is that Meteor Storm is dog shit until you're in a big party late game. More or less. I don't think it's actually that bad, but it's not great. At least, like right now, I only have about 80 points in intelligence. So I don't know how it'll be later. If I get a couple more breakpoints, maybe it'll feel better. I don't know if there's a Meteor Storm damage item or card. I just hate how in private servers everyone wants to be a billionaire and new players are basically removed from the economy, or accept that you will be a miner in the coal mines and farm cards using no gears, so you have a chance of joining the big boys club. I don't think that's the case at all on this server. I think the economy is absolutely just fine here. Like, you can farm 1 mil quite easily with 0 gear. I feel like a lot of items are too cheap, to be perfectly honest. It's like, to the point where it's borderline not worth selling things. Like white herbs or whatnot. Like you're basically giving it away. But you're here playing a rogue when in fact you want to play a crusader or a knight. Yeah, but that's an issue with the rogue. The rogue's game design is broken. The rogue should not have auto-steal. Auto-steal should not exist. It should literally be... It should be one of the first things you delete on any private server. You can't have classes that are better at farming. Like, just from the virtue that they have steal or whatever. It ruins the game, because you're forced to do it, almost. Unless you can, like, AoE farm on a wizard or whatever. If you can AoE farm and get more drops, that's you know, a different thing. But if you can't, then having classes that can get more loot is super, super toxic. In Tree of Savior, we had the same thing. There was a class called the Linker, No, it wasn't the linker. It was the thaumaturge. The thaumaturge had a skill called Swell Body, which made it so that the mobs had more HP, but when you killed them, they dropped twice as much loot. So what you did was you just did that, and then you killed them. And then you just got twice as much loot as any other class. Twice as much money too. And it was impossible to play another class because that existed. So like that's why you can't really do that. You can't design classes like that. It's super bad. So the rogues, in my opinion, is one of the worst additions to the game. Because now I'm like, okay, I need a class that can just go and farm stuff. Yeah, okay, that's a rogue, because that's the only choice. That or like a hunter. Because you can farm bigger things than a rogue can more easily. I think that's dumb. The worst addition was Homunculus. Well, if that enabled AFK farming, then absolutely, but I don't know if it did. In Tree of Savior, we had that issue. If you had a Necromancer, you could just put it on a pillar somewhere, and it would just kill mobs overnight for you. And you wouldn't really get that many items because you only picked up items that were dropped close to you automatically. But all the money would always be vacuumed into you. It would kill things very slowly, but you could still just put the mobs somewhere, or you put your character somewhere, and it would just give you free money. It was super dumb. They never banned people for it either. It was from Homunculus that Gravity decided to design all its future games with autoplay feature. I don't know if that has anything to do with the Homunculus. I mean, the idea of the Homunculus is just a pet, right? I don't really mind that. I've never gotten an MVP as a rogue though, but on an alchemist, hunter, or champion, no problem. Well, yeah. They are a pet that can be aggressive and kill stuff and level you up. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. I do think that, like, I don't mind having pets that do things. But there are steps you can take, like making the pet only aggressive after you target something, or like after you actually like touch the game and stuff like that. In Tree of Savior, they, after like literally 6 years or something, they finally patched the Necromancers to require you to press a button every 30 seconds or something for your pets to be active. And that killed like 90% of the AFK farmers. There were still some who did it, but they were just like watching TV, and then they had Tree of Savior up in the background, and then they like pressed the button every 30 seconds while they were watching TV. It's still cancer, but you know, a lot less. But you should never ever be able to farm AFK. But I don't mind pets either. Nobody used a macro to move their mouse. Well, they had to click, but yeah, of course people used macros. People cheat constantly all the time. Another design failure is that you need a merchant to sell items. Yes, 100%. It's super dumb. It's one of those things that, you know, it's kind of cute. It's just like vendors. It's kind of cute, kind of neat that you need to do that, but it's also retarded. It like, you always have to think of like what is an addition, like what is a decision going to do in practice, right? Because like the fact that a merchant has overcharge, what is that going to do? Yeah, it's going to make the process of selling items require you like putting items in the bank, logging out, going sifting through your fucking bank to find the correct items, take them out, then go and sell, and then you have the money like on another character, because you know nothing is just global in this game. Like you could have just, then he could have just been on the entire account, but no. No, the merchant is terrible. Because if you design it in a vacuum, it's kind of nice, right? You know, like the perk of playing the class is that you can, you yourself, you can buy items cheaper. Like the class is kind of worse than other classes, but items are cheaper. It's easier for you to use healing items because you can buy them cheaper. You can get more money, so you know you can buy more consumables and stuff like that. Like that's the idea. But then you're like, oh, okay, but I can just sell everything through this character. So now it just makes the entire thing weird. That's how I feel like the class is designed. It's like not designed with the rest of the account in mind. It's just designed in a vacuum. Not sure what I would make a merchant be able to do instead, though. Because I don't think it should have overcharge. I don't think it should have the buying items cheaper skill. I don't think it should have vendor. So like that's 30 levels of skills that it needs something new. That still like stays within the merchant theme, right? I have no clue what that would be. You know, like even something like chance to not consume a consumable when you use it, that still adds weird things. Like, okay, so now if you find old blue boxes, you have to make a merchant to use that shit on. Like, you know, it would have to be like potions and meat only. Chance to like not consume that, but that also kind of doesn't make any real sense. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know what they would craft either, though. Because, like, the merchant and... or the alchemist and the blacksmith already craft, like, yeah, almost everything. could shift crafting aspects into the merchant. Maybe. Maybe you could craft like armor pieces and stuff. I kind of don't like that you have to make like a dedicated blacksmith. I mean, it's one of those things that it's kind of cute, right? Like that you have to just forgo everything else just to make a blacksmith. But I don't know. I don't like the idea of having to make characters that are unplayable. Right. That's what I don't like. It does make it, you know, more of a challenge to make one, and I can respect that people enjoy that, but I don't know. They should just get XP by forging / making potions. I mean, that would be one way to do things, yeah. But I prefer the idea that you can, like, if you want to, you can play a blacksmith, and like that's your entire character, and you play the blacksmith to like gather your own materials and do like all of that. It's not like you have to make an alt just so you can go and actually like get some stuff to craft on your blacksmith, right? Like, oh, I need 2 blacksmiths because I like playing blacksmith, but this other blacksmith can't play the game. They do drop ore more often, yeah, but you still need another blacksmith to do that, because your crafter blacksmith is completely useless. So it's kind of odd. That mostly comes from the stats though, I would say. Maybe I should sell Leech on this server. I saw someone do that and I was so fucking cringe. It's like, if you pay me 50k, you can join me at Migaus for 30 minutes. I'm like, Christ. You can absolutely do that. But it is cringe. It was also like, you have to be able to mob the mobs too. So it's like, okay, if you pay me money, I will AoE the mobs that you gather up for me. Something more meaningful, like Leech on Anubis. Yeah, if you can just go around and one-shot them. Looking for priest to heal and buff me. You have to pay me for the privilege. They did release a teaser for Gunslinger. Showed off Gatling gun. So maybe once I'm done with Monster Hunter Wilds, they'll have released it, and then I can make a Gunslinger. I kind of like the Gunslinger, but my issue with it is that I end up having to have like 4 Gunslingers, so I can play different builds on it, because it's got so many different builds. I like the Gatling gun, I like the rifle, I like handguns. I like Soul Linker. Too bad, it's never coming. Actually, they talked about that yesterday. And they might reevaluate whether Soul Linker is coming or not, but if it does come, they're probably going to rework it very, very heavily. But that's probably going to be like a billion years in the future. And then people who like Soul Linker are going to be like, this isn't exactly the Soul Linker I wanted. Be upset. That's the problem with reworking things too, especially for an old game. It's very easy to get flack for your reworks. Not necessarily because it's bad, but just because it's not the same. Yeah, it's like classic WoW. It's literally like the most imbalanced game ever made. Like the classes are so dysfunctional. But classic Andes just do not want any changes at all. I think that mostly stems from them not trusting Blizzard to be able to make those changes, which is absolutely 100% fair. But it's also partially just they just want it to be the way it was. Which means that druids are forever ever stuck farming Gnomeregon forever for consumable staves. But you know, that's what they want apparently. Remember the first week Soul Linker came out originally? We put a bunch of items that made you take more damage from magic on the guild linker and made him walk into the precast. All the wizards died immediately. I don't know what that means. The precast? What's the precast? The precast in WoW is where the wizards sit casting their big spells. Okay. They do this on choke points to prevent enemy guilds to pass. Yeah, fair enough. I honestly don't know how Soul Linker works. The few times I've seen anything with them, it's like you can pick like 3 maps to be permanently buffed for you, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. And then I never play the class. That's like basically all I know. Pretty much. It seemed very much overtuned in it seemed like they leaned in way too much on like overtuned abilities with overtuned like drawbacks that just made this thing like super like weird. Linker has a skill that reflects magic. They reflect magic done to them, and they have 100% dodge. That sounds like a lot of dodge, but don't a lot of people have 100% dodge? No, we have 95%. They can dodge everything, including magic. Alright. Like Ninja Cicada, but on all the time. That sounds really overpowered. Ninja Cicada is super strong. It's not 100%. Is it then? It's 100% until someone dispels you. Is it? Huh? Yeah, I don't know. I cannot contest this. I have no clue. Their only weakness is that they can't attack players. Okay. Taekwon has a skill that lets you dodge at a % chance, I think, if that's what you mean. I don't know. What do you mean? Thief card set. Let's see. Shinobi, the paper. Wanderer, Wild Rose. Oh. Zupolong. Alright, so we need to farm a Wild Rose card, and then we need to move on to farming Wanderers, which is completely impossible. Because the map is super cucked. And then we need the paper, which is impossible. Because there's like 2 on the map. Read skill Kaup if available. It's a buff that lets you dodge 1 attack at 100% chance. And spam it. Okay. Not that OP, man. Attacks are plenty in RO. I mean, if you can kill something without attacking, I can see it being strong. But I don't know if you can, like, reflect a skill that you're dodging. Otherwise, yeah, it does seem to have very limited usability. I mean, you could potentially tank with it, right? Like, if you can just spam it, you can play a tank against certain things. They have skills that let them heal when hit and rest when killed. That's better. Rest when killed sounds pretty good. We're overweight! This map feels a lot better now when I have the proper elemental dagger. People play Linker for the link buffs. Doesn't have that much use otherwise. I looked at it yesterday, but there were like a billion skills. It was really hard to really get a grasp of what the hell's going on. Except that they can like choose their own elemental buffs, which sounds pretty good. Your points are limited. Either you become a buff bot or you build for damage and can't attack people. Yeah, I mean, I can see linkers being cool, like if you have a friend that you know you're gonna play with a lot and you like make a linker specifically for his class, that could be cool. That could be a fun thing to play together. But otherwise, the issue is like you gotta I feel like you gotta make a linker that's like something that everyone's gonna want all the time. Like making like one meta class more OP. But that's also kind of toxic game design in my opinion. And that's what I mean. It's like, yeah, a lot of their things are just like Crusaders now deal 100% more damage. Like, yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, hello there. It's a lot of kitties. It's very dangerous to do stuff like that, where you have like very limited, like hard limitations that make it annoying to do things, or like it makes your class like just hyper specialized on one thing, because it fucks with the meta of the game. You know, like imagine if Soul Linkers made Stormgust do double damage only. Because that's kind of what their skills do, from what I read. And then it's like, okay, now Stormgust is the only viable skill, and like you always need to have a soul-linked wizard in every single party. Every single piece of content requires this now. That's like the problem. I think it would be a lot better if they just removed all of the unique links and just made it be like a linker can buff one character. And that's just, you know. And it's not even like 100%, it's more like 20% or something. Even just the fact, like, I would make it do something more like the Bard. Like, steal the Bard skill that gives people stats and give that to the linker. That's a much better linker design than all of the, like, unique class links that they have. Those are really bad in my opinion. I don't even know why the Bard can do that. Doesn't even fit the class. It fits the linker so much better. Oh, Ridicon. Will we level up here today? Did we get any witherless rose? Not a single witherless. That's kind of BS. If they're doing static party, you could join that Anolian party on your wizard and firewall for them. I don't know. Too early. Too early to do Anolians. I've only been there once and it was a total clusterfuck and we didn't manage to do anything. Might make an auto blitz hunter. I just don't want to be a mobber. Well, I mean, mobbing seems to be the knight's job anyway. I mean, that's my biggest issue right now. That melee classes don't seem to really belong in the game. to some extent. Like, groups are just a bunch of ranged classes. Every single time. And the tank just runs around in a circle. We had an assassin, but he was grim-toothing. So that's a ranged class. I guess you could like bowling bash. It could make sense. The issue is mobs do so much damage that you need a good setup if you want to tank something for real. Yeah, I know. Bowling bash spreads. Okay, so you can't do that either. So a knight is either just a mobber or a solo class. Kind of. Or I guess MVPer. Maybe it's an MVP class. If you go Pierce. The fuck is the point of like an agility knight? Other than soloing, what do you do with an agility sword knight? Are you playing a different server every day? Now that's a new server hopper definition. No. I'm playing on Pion Stories. Only. Yesterday we logged in and tried that other server for like 1 day. And it didn't even work. Sword Knight is a solo farming class for fun. Hell yeah. Yeah. This is why I think servers should lean into some renewal changes. Because I think armor and enemy damage needs to be completely overhauled in the game. Like whether you want classic or not, the formula needs to be changed. It doesn't actually work. Witherless Rose! It was, then they released third classes and broke the game again. Yeah, I know. Things I like. I haven't really looked into renewal that much, but I like that levels are more tied into things. I like that the armor system is overhauled. I like that they nerfed some things. There was something else too. I don't know if that's a renewal thing or a custom server thing, but I like random stat lines on items. Potentially, it could be dog shit, but I do like that to some degree. But that's really about it. I don't like pay-to-win cash items. I don't like quests. I don't like third classes. I like a more like durability / potential based upgrade system for gear too. That's kind of good. What I always wanted was an RO server that implemented renewal rules and did some balancing changes at the same time that it decided to never go beyond episode 13. I don't really know what to think about like any content stuff, but there is the possibility to like add things. Well, there are two. There are issues, right? But like you can use the content that exists and just like rework the numbers and stuff. But the issue is like the classic WoW issue. And the same issue with like Classic Plus, which is a pipe dream. It's that if you add new content and it doesn't actually like add new potential power for the players, like the only reason for them to farm like whatever items you put there is like if it enables making like another alt. So like if you add new content that adds nothing for someone's main character, that kind of means that your players won't really come back. Like what's the point? And if you just constantly add things that add power to your players, then the game is eventually, inevitably destroyed. Because it becomes unplayable, right? So it's a bit of a catch-22. Like, what do you do? You basically just have to say, like, yeah, we're just gonna add more alternative content or something. And that's it. You just have to be settled with that. And if you do that, you basically have to do like seasons and reset the server now and then. Because otherwise, there's just going to be like infinite inflation at some point. Oro had the perfect formula. Put new maps, new mobs, new bosses, and for gear just add stuff that enables off-meta builds to shine. Well, I mean, how long did it have that formula? I feel like it very quickly started adding new things that were just stronger. Like set items and shit like that. Hello player, how's it going? I'm just farming some money. I only have one kebab left. So now we're just gonna farm until I am out of stuff. And unlike Blizzard, well, I don't know if I would ever say that Blizzard is a paragon of balance. Because I don't think they have ever had a game that they have been able to balance at all in any way. But yeah, Gravity is definitely not better at it. Sure. But there's also a limit to like how much off-meta stuff you can add and like how many alternative items you can add. Especially like RO's items are very simple. Like an end game item is like a hat with +1 agility. So like what else can you really add on top of that to like add new things? Not really that much. Like even a +2 hat is like a problem. Because now there's like one hat. Because it's better than the other ones. Imagine if you were a dev and you had an MMO and you put in the game a skill that one-shots anything ever. How long until you patched it out? I don't know. Like a week. Like, I don't give a fuck. Grinding Gear Games for Path of Exile, they have this mentality that if they put something into a league, unless it's like ultra great game breaking, they won't remove it until the next season, because it's like, yeah, this is this season's meta now. And for me, I would be just like, no, fuck you. I'm gonna change this immediately. I'm not gonna let the game be fucking broken for 3 months just because someone's gonna be upset that they put like 10 hours into the game and now their build is different. I would absolutely patch the shit out of it. This is my cat, bro. Get your own cats. Cat. Here's the reality. These hats, it doesn't say how much they weigh, but they weigh quite a bit. They're not worth picking up because they sell for like 10 zenny. The creator alchemist skill acid demonstration was one-shotting anything it hits because it did damage based on the bit of the target. Their solution was to just lower MVP bit to 1 and increase their base HP to match the old value. The players, they just told them to remake their characters, basically. That's also like a really retarded change. Like, why would you rework the entire game so that one skill can like not be broken and bugged? That's so retarded. Stop giving me nut hats. Stop. He's laughing at me. How dare you? Dare you? After you've taken all of my wild roses, he laughs in my face? Are we gonna level or die first? Which is it gonna be? Level or death? I'm thinking death. I need to kill like 30 cats. And I don't even have life regen. Asura, yeah, Asura is a bad skill. Terrible. It's unfun to play and it's super unbalanced. Now someone is gonna say that it's fun to play because you can one-shot stuff with it, but that's not what fun means. That means you're having fun because it's overpowered and broken. I think Asura could be reworked. Like, it doesn't even need to be reworked a lot. It just needs to be less extreme and just be more usable. I really dislike the way it is. I don't want to play on Asura Monk. Summoning spheres is also a bad mechanic because it's just tedious. It's like one of the most unfun mechanics. It's like playing a gun. What the fuck are they called? Gunslinger? Yeah. And just pressing like flip the coin 12 times in a row to be able to play the game. Like, that's just also bad. Classes should be fun. Like, mechanics skills should be fun to use and play. They shouldn't be like super shit but super rewarding. That's not how you go about it. Oh, if I do this whole thing that sucks balls, I will be able to one-shot this super dangerous mob. That's not good. Gonna die any second now. Do I have any meat? They drop potatoes! And monster feed. Alright, we're good. We're good, we're good. Their solution to assassin doing low damage was to give them a skill that consumes a deadly poison bottle and multiply their damage by 5 for 60 seconds, and put a knife in the game that does more damage based on the target's defense. Yeah. Yeah, the Tree of Savior had the same kind of issues, where instead of figuring out and fixing the base issues, like the actual core problems that are causing the issues, they just like band-aided shit. That just made the entire game like not work properly anymore going forward. WoW became about the guild that had the most alchemist, assassins, and monks sprinkle some priests, wizards in a bragi. Yeah. Like Bragi would have been good. Like what does Bragi do exactly? How much it reduces aftercast delay, right? But like how much? Isn't it like a ridiculous amount? Based on Bard's Dex and Int. But it is like a ridiculous amount, right? Aftercast delay is reduced by Int. Cast is reduced by Dex. Okay. Oh, it does both. But the way I see it, can remove aftercast delay completely. Yeah, the way I see it, a bard should be able to reduce, you know, maybe cast time as well. Sure, I don't really mind that. Maybe an aftercast delay by like 20%, maybe. You know, that would be really strong. It would be really good. Completely is like that's like beta version tier bullshit. That should not be in the game at all. That's retarded. Like just straight up retarded. The way bards should work, in my opinion, is that you should have these buffs that are decent, but they shouldn't be like beyond like priest buffs. You know, with the blessing you get plus 10 stats. That's pretty good, but it's like 10% increase or 20% increase to your damage or your attack speed or whatever. And bards should just work like that. It should be like you it shouldn't even be like an area. It should just be, it should work like Gloria. Like on-screen players are buffed by 20% for like 10 seconds maybe, or something like that. 5 seconds, 6 seconds. In a way where they can like weave together 5 different buffs. No, three different buffs or something, so that you can cast Bragi, and then you can cast something else, and then you can cast something else, and then Bragi is gone. And then you can create like a buff loadout kinda, and that you can keep up on your party. And like that's kind of how you play the bard. Like something like that. The buffs shouldn't be based on your stats either. Don't know why that's a thing. It should be like D&D Bard. D&D Bard is like you turn on your singing ability and then you stand still. I mean, that's how old the D&D Bards used to be. When this game came out, that's how Bards worked. You stood there and you pressed the play song button. Like if you play a bard in like Baldur's Gate 2 or something, you turn on song, and if you do anything else, you lose the song. bardic inspiration and vicious mockery. Yeah, I think the game could be a lot better with some tweaks. Like, you wouldn't even have to rework everything like really hard. If you just implemented armor changes and you just reworked some numbers on classes a little bit, you would be mostly fine, to be honest. The number one thing is that I think you should be able to tank damage more. That's like the number one issue in my opinion with the game. Because the vitality build is like either you're in the extreme when it comes to defenses, or it's like almost a waste of time. Dude, I would love to sit and like tweak the shit out of this, but I'd rather just make my own game in that case, which I am doing. I'm not really into modding, to be honest. Plus, it's not even like legal to run servers, so it's just a waste of effort. And if you make something like actually good, then Gravity's gonna come around and be like, "Hey man, fuck off." And I'm like, "All right, just wasted like 3 hours, 3 years of my life. Great." I'm 36. I don't even have like 3 years left to live. I could die at any moment now, from old age. At least you make games. I just write weak auras for free. Yeah, that shouldn't even be legal. They should ban weak auras. I think we should make you... We should put you out of work. Delete ban weak auras. The thing is... I do think that WoW should get rid of add-ons in like a very large capacity, but it's also like the game is like borderline unplayable without most add-ons. Yeah. Yeah. Damn, this place drops way too much monster food. I can never go home. If you talk in front of any player, they're super scared of a WoW without add-ons. Yeah, that's because WoW without add-ons fucking blows, dude. Because... like, the game doesn't make sense without deadly boss mods, for example. Like, I don't know exactly about modern WoW, but it's like... mechanics just happen. Right? Like, it just happens. You just have to know that it's gonna happen, so that you can be like prepared for it and avoid it. But otherwise, they just happen. It's not like in Final Fantasy where you're always warned that something's gonna happen, and you can very intuitively handle it and just like get out of the circle and shit like that. In WoW, it's just like, you stood too close to this other guy, now the entire raid wiped. Goodbye. Okay. That's WoW mechanics. You're going to ruin Raid? Raid is already ruined. You have 4 difficulty layers of Raid because add-ons made Raid so easy. You needed to make Raid for add-ons. kind of true, but also not entirely. Like, I do appreciate the concept of making raids more accessible. Because there is also a factor of, it's kind of like Dark Souls, right? Like, Dark Souls has to make each game harder than the last. And that makes it a lot less playable for new players. And if they don't keep doing that, then for the players who have been playing the games, like, they're all getting better every time they, you know, every game, the entire player base is just better at the game. And raids are kind of the same. Like, at some point, you know, you have to just make harder and harder and harder and harder raids forever. There are complaints for Final Fantasy XIV, for example, that they're just like doing the same stuff. Like, it's not ramping in difficulty that much anymore. Don't know if that's true, but I've seen people complain about that. And like, if they just keep making like the same difficulty stuff, people will just lose interest as well. Like, if you have a raid that's easier than the last one, especially, that's gonna be like very, very, very bad. In Final Fantasy, I still laugh. One of the hardest mechanics is a boss that does attacks based on nautical directions. And then he flips facing the party and it throws them off because now everything is reversed. Okay. I've seen some of the Final Fantasy dance videos where the entire raid is just like, okay, here's how the dance works, and everybody has to like dance around in a circle. Like, move, switch positions, and like shit like that. That's why I don't raid. I hate that kind of stuff. It's like playing DDR or something. Now we're gonna play Osu. I wonder, like, how bad is a red potion? Is a red potion actually decent? I have like a billion red herbs. I kind of wonder if it would be nice to make red potions. I think the issue would be bottles, though. Like, solo farming bottles yourself, that's kind of rough. But you can just go Antel. It's like kind of alright to just farm them in Antel. Get a bunch of other things too, and Andre cards. At your level, orange and yellow potions would be best. Yeah, but orange and yellow potions, like, you don't get that. That's the thing. Like, you get white herbs, or you get red herbs. You don't get yellow herbs and like anywhere. I'd have to specifically look for an area that I can farm that actually gives me red herbs or yellow herbs. I haven't farmed anything that actually gives me a decent like yellow herb income. But I do think white potions are probably bad. Like, when it comes to cost efficiency. Yellow or orange are probably better. But I'm not sure. Maybe because that could just boil down to like what's easiest to farm. I do think making an orc farmer could be kind of cool. That could just be a knight. Mobbing high orcs gives you infinite amounts of yellow herbs. Yeah, that could be cool. Maybe it's time to make that knight. Like a spear knight, brandish knight. I don't want to play bowling bash. But I don't know if... Because I know you can bowling bash high orcs pretty easily without taking like any damage. Why do I hate bowling bash? Because it's jank as fuck. It'll just randomly miss. Like it's like, no, I didn't collide with the other monsters because it sucks. Not on this server. I think it's on every server. I think it's just how RO works. It's just how bowling bash works. And if you have like one mob standing here and one mob standing here, then it just misses. Because it's like knocking him back there. I don't know if that's the case. If the mob has like a 3x3 collision when it's being knocked back, it could be okay. But I don't think so. Fixed gutter lines? I don't know what that means. If the server got Fricko shoes, I usually just buy pots from vendor for farming too. Fricko, I think it has Fricko shoes. Increases healing effect of red, orange, yellow, and white potions. Could maybe be worth getting that, actually. But I also wanted my Sword Knight to be agility to some degree. So if I was gonna make an AoE farmer, I would probably just go full strength, bit, dex on a brandish knight. But high orcs hit really hard, so I don't know if it's gonna be good enough. But I usually play BB, only need to top up between mobs. Gutter lines are some areas of the map that you can't knock back at all because of a bug on the map coordinates. Okay. Hello, Rat. How's it going? Eating breakfast and packing for a hike? Oh. Where you go? Out into the woods again and making... makeshift shelters. Going to the woods sounds good. Bowling Bash now is the best AoE knights have. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what would be better for high orcs. Bowling Bash or Brandish. Depends entirely on your strength and weapon of choice and Dao. Well, I mean, if you have an ice weapon on both, I guess. Whatever high orcs are weak against. Basically same build, but Bowling Bash or Brandish. Water, but depending on cards, you can one-shot with Bowling Bash and not with Brandish. You can maybe on this server, because Brandish can double hit. But only if you knock them into a wall, which might be a problem. It might not be that easy to do that. I don't know. I got both Brandish and Bowling Bash Knight on Pyron Stories. Brandish is still shit. Okay. The Chad Bowling Bash versus the Virgin Brandish Spear. Brad just deleted his knight to make another knight with Brandish Spear instead of Bowling Bash. I don't... I'm not sure where to go with this. Brandish Knight also gets Pierce, though. There is that. I saw some dude selling Orc Lady card for 250k yesterday. Got 4 of them and get 4 of them and a +9 pike, and they just one hit with Bowling Bash. Oh, you can, yeah, you can get Bowling Bash on the spear build too. I guess. Yeah. Dude, this place does not want me to leave. It's just not letting me go home. Infinite. You just get infinite food here. I bet I have like 1 billion potatoes now too. Oh, not quite. Do you get counter on that build? I don't know, do you need to get counter for Bowling Bash? Yeah. Counter is how I kill AKs. I have a bunch of minions though. Do you just Bowling Bash them to death first? Drops the animal feed here. Is it the cats? Or is it the bear? I think the bear drops potatoes. Rotten fish. But I think I'm not gonna make a knight. I'm just gonna keep grinding on the rogue. Just so that it levels up. And so I'm gonna focus on just doing grinding on the rogue. And then I'm gonna switch over to the wizard for now and try to get the wizard up. I want to see if I can do anything decent, if I can get Meteor Storm up, so I can use it solo. Like if I can get Meteor Storm off by just doing like one vertical firewall, then that could be cool. I don't know if it would be good, because Meteor Storm's aftercast delay is so ridiculous. I don't know, does aftercast delay go down too from any of the stats, like dexterity? Or is that just set? Because Meteor Storm's aftercast delay is ridiculous. The only way is Braggy. Cards? There are cards that do that? MVP? Oh, so it's not real. MVP cards are basically like cheat mode codes that just like randomly drop on the server like once a year, and some happy player gets it. Like, they're not real. No, I don't have Ice Wall. I'm a fire wizard. I mean, it does work decently well to just firewall and do it that way. Like if you quagmire them, usually what I do is I put up a normal firewall, quagmire, and then I position myself and I set up a vertical firewall. And I think if you just like instantly double vertical, you can just cast Meteor Storm after that. But it's just, I think I only have like 60 dexterity now on my wizard. It's still not high enough. If you're a fire wizard, you need Scythe Thrasher. Do I? It seems like it's just pretty bad. How can I kill? I mean, I have been mobbing stalactites with just fireball. It's fine. The only issue there is the heads. I can't kill the heads. I can, but they're super annoying. Okay, the real issue on the map is that I don't have a Vitata card, so I take like a little bit of damage from the heads before I can kill them, and that ruins the entire farm. So like right now, I need a Vitata card. Why would anyone farm stalactic golems? I don't know. Drops Selenium. And yeah, they do give a lot of XP, but they also take a long time to kill. They have good magic defense. Yeah, but they're also weak to fire. So it works out, like, they are killable. I don't really mind killing them that much, but I just think right now my character isn't strong enough to do it fast, so alarms are literally the same mob. It's just faster, and like the XP is just better, because I just get more XP there. The kill speed is faster. If I had a Vitata card, I wouldn't mind doing stings too. But the fact that there are gargoyles down there is too annoying without being able to self-heal. How much is one? I don't know. I haven't seen one on sale for a while. That's why I've been down there farming them a little bit. That's something we could do later. But I'm actually going to take a little break from the stream. I did start the stream early, because I woke up early. But I'm gonna go to my parents for a little bit and have some coffee for like 2 hours or something. And then I'll be back, but I'm not gonna go quite yet. Yeah, I mean, that's why I have an issue with mobs like the Migao. Because it just pushes people to like super OP areas. But it's not just the Migao. Like, even just going to... I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, getting to level 30 even on a 1x server takes literally like 30 minutes. if you have another character and you can just gear a new character a little bit, that's like how long it takes. Getting to level 50 is like an hour. And because of that, like nobody goes anywhere. You have like 3 areas that people go to. There's no reason to do anything else. And I get that people want to just speed level, but I think even for people who want to speed level, it kind of cheapens the build, or like whatever they wanted to make, when you can just literally get to job level 50 in 2 hours. Because it doesn't take much longer than that. If you are 2 people, or you play like a wizard or a hunter or something, or any sortie build with like 40 intelligence, then you can also do it. It's a bit harder though. 40-50. It's easy to fix Migao, yeah, but the issue is that even if you fix it, there's just gonna be like another area. So it's just one of those things that, well, yeah, I would like to see it fixed. It's just like one small part of the issue. So it won't necessarily solve anything. It's just gonna change the meta. And there are already other areas. Like Seromas are kind of stupid. I don't understand why Seromas are the way they are. They're really dumb. They should 100% at least be cast sensitive, but to be honest, they should also like assist. Seromas are the way they are because they're meant for trans class. Yeah, but do you know what that means? That means it's a boosting method, which is stupid. Like, it's meant to just be a catch-up mechanic, which is not in line with the spirit of classic RO. And Migaos are the same. That's why they exist in the way they do. It's a catch-up mechanic. Either that, or the devs are just stupid. Which is also entirely possible. Because we have plenty of evidence of that being the case. So, but it could be both as well. And I'm talking about Gravity, by the way, not the Pion devs. Just to be clear. I'm literally just waiting for the game to force me back to town, but it's too hard. I do too much damage now. I think the Plan devs made a mistake putting so many custom maps, but at the same time I'm also tired of playing the same empty classic maps because everyone and their mother wants to kill Megaus and Seals. I don't necessarily think that the custom maps are an issue. I just don't like the quests. I think the quests to do them are really, 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 really bad. Can we not stand at the warp portal, please? Throwstone. I don't think I've actually learned it on this character. I don't think I even have backsliding. Nope. But Wild Rose Farm is pretty good. I don't mind being here for a while. We can stay here just to make some raw money. Plus, I don't mind getting the Wild Rose card. I don't mind getting the Dustiness card. I don't mind getting the Bigfoot card. So like any card drop here would be a W for me. I am not using a shield on my rogue. That's something I should do, but I don't have any shield cards, so it doesn't matter. But yes, I think it is time for me to go back to town. Because it's time for me to get ready to go to my parents for a few hours. Also to visit the cats. It matters because a buckler has 4% defense. Yeah, the 4% is like, I don't care. But being able to equip a card in a shield that is 30% less damage taken is pretty good. Or targeted farm. Or a horn for EPT and butterflies, for example. I also need to actually finish upgrading my gear. Because a shield that would be... It's a buckler 4 base. Yeah. So that's like 6.4 or something. Boots would be... That would end up at like 9. Undershirt. Now we're at maybe like 12, 11 maybe. And the goggles need to be finished. And that's another 0.6, so that might be like 12% more damage reduction. Which could be decent. I am stacking agility, so like the panty and the undershirt seem good, but there might be a case for switching it to a mantle or a manto and padded armor maybe or something, or thieves clothes or some shit like that for extra defense. Like if I'm already evasion capped, right? If the server allows slot, no, we don't have that. But yeah. How much do you think we got? 64 red herbs, 2 rotten fish, 500 Cypher, 3 witherless rose. I think that's more than 100k. And some Iridicon. I usually don't factor that in. I think the Sargons are from there. Animal skin, feeler, bear's foot skin. Moth dust, moth wing. Cypher. Is that it? Maybe. $450k. But that was like 3 hours of grind almost. I don't know if there is a Vitata. Nope. There is the price checker though. Vitata. Vitata card. Last sold 1.5 mil, 1.6 mil. So yeah. The Vitatas are kind of worse to farm, I think. Because they don't really drop much that's very interesting. I mean, I like getting green live, and I like honey and royal jelly. I have clips. I have the clip already. They're usually kind of cheap. I only have 15 royal jelly. Not worth selling. Anyway, I'll be back in like 2 or 3 hours or so. I'm just gonna be off for a little bit and pet some cats. So I'll be back later. Until then, thanks for hanging. See you around. Bye. 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 Bye.